Welcome back. Welcome back. Steady growth, Nigeria's economy, and rising oil output. All right, she won't wine. I did whining us. What is this one about? But let me just read the report. This is actually on Reuters.com. Abuja, February 22. Nigeria's economy grew 3.46% in the fourth quarter, a similar pace as it did a year earlier. Data showed on Thursday as oil output picked up and government reforms to boost growth began to take effect. GDP, gross domestic product, grew quicker than in the two previous quarters of 2023. GDP grew 2.54% in the third quarter and 2.51% in the second. Growth in the final quarter of 2022 was 3.52 in annual terms. The pickup in growth came as reforms instituted by President Bola Tinubu, right? Let's show his face while we're talking. There you go. Aha. Who pledged during his inauguration in May to expand the economy by at least 6% annually, began to take effect. Tinubu made bold changes, including ending a costly fuel subsidy and devaluing the country's naira currency twice in less than a year to try to lift sluggish growth. But these reforms have stoked price pressures. Sending inflation to almost 30% in January is the highest in nearly 3 decades. President Tinubu said during a November budget speech that the economy was expected to grow by at least 3.76% in 2024. The National Bureau of Statistics said full-year growth for 2023 stood at 2.74%. The performance of the GDP in the fourth quarter of 2023 was driven mainly by the services sector, which recorded a growth of 3.98% and contributed 56.55% to the aggregate GDP, the statistics office said. Growth in the agriculture and industrial sectors, which create jobs, improved marginally during the period compared with a year ago, the data states. Almost there. Average daily oil output rose to 1.55 million barrels per day, up from 1.34 million a year ago. Nigeria relies on oil production for about 2/3 of government earnings and 90% of its foreign exchange income. The real growth of the oil sector was 12.11% year on year in Q4 2023, indicating an increase of 25.5 percentage point relative to the rate recorded in the corresponding quarter of 2022 at minus 13.38%, said the statistics office. So my question for you, Chief, you got 10 minutes to answer this big old question. Does this sound like good news to you? Abi, we should just relax and see where this is taking us.
In terms of oil production output, being able to meet our OPEC quota, which expectedly should be about 2 million barrels per day. Now they say we are doing 1.55 million barrels per day. Yes, it will on the surface look like good news. So the deficit of 450,000, where does that go? Or or maybe 500,000. It's not as if oil is not coming out. The loophole that should be blocked is still there. The leakage is still there. The country is hemorrhaging to the what's it called? The grid, and bring adage of some of its citizens and active international collaborators. That has to be blocked right away. And can we really rely on all these figures in the face of all that Nigerians are witnessing currently in terms of the purchasing power, the ability, and this money that they're talking of may be concentrated in the hands of very few. Hunger is something that has overtaken everybody in Nigeria today, and the the naira is no longer reliable as a, as holding any value. It doesn't store any value for anybody. So these are the issues. So, and can we really say that statistics coming from
The
Nigeria is,
statistics.
yes, statistics coming from Nigerian, that bureau, that agency, is it
Right.
really reliable? Look at the funny thing they did in terms of unemployment ratio in Nigeria the other day. They said if somebody send a child, go and buy me a bowl of fried beans, akara, and the boy is able to save something up, that is employment for the boy. Isn't that funny?
Really?
So, yeah, that
Wow.
is the way they rebase the economy, and then instead of reporting unemployment uh, level of
As
almost
against world standard. As against world
yes,
standard.
they said unemployment rate in Nigeria at that point was like maybe between 2 point something to 3 point something percent, and everybody started laughing. Now that they fool now, so all these things are there. So if what Reuters is reporting is really true, we do not cast aspersion on anybody. It's not about Reuters.com now. It's about the source or the
Right.
sources. How
Right.
reliable are these figures? I'm not going to belabor. I don't want to exhaust the ten minutes you gave me. The truth of the matter is that Nigerians are
You're
expected
good
to
though. You're
join.
good though.
Yeah, Nigerians are expected to join the mainstream labor. Um, trade union organization, Nigerian Labour Congress, on Tuesday to go demanding reforms and making sure that hunger does not kill everybody, and address the minimum wage and negotiations that should be followed through with the government. They want the government to look into that. So if these statistics, this figure, the figures that have been reeled out, if they are really true, are they people friendly? Is it reflecting on the quality of life in Nigeria? Is it what the citizens can take to bank and say, oh, we
Right.
have a country that is working for us now? Certainly not.
Not
So
now. Not now at least.
we continue to work, and to monitor, to see that things turn better for uh, this country that ought to be the pride for every black person on the face of the earth.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that there's a guy on TikTok, Najashima Doom, I think that's his name. Najashima Doom. And the natural knee-jerk reaction to most people is like, Loriro. But then you think about that, but we should pray for our
Yeah,
nation though.
see,
You know.
there is nothing wrong with being optimistic. The only thing is that people should be cautious, because
Right.
you you want to go there thinking that Nigeria Shimadu, that things are going to turn around for the better in Nigeria. Things will be sweet. All right, if you don't find anything that meets that expectation, um, then you would have worked yourself up for nothing. So,
What is the overall expectation of the average person with regards to a Tinubu administration?
well, what
Like
everybody thinks,
honestly.
you asking me what
Yes.
people expect?
Overall temperature
Yes,
around
getting
their
a firm grip of the economy, arresting the runaway inflation, and if needs be, um, domicile the country's what do you call it, foreign reserve, or whatever we have in terms of within the country, instead of just banking it with all kinds of institutions everywhere other than the country, and then lowering interest rate, give access to everybody, and access to everybody in terms of loans, startups. Do not make the process to be too cumbersome. I remember when we wanted to start Ruben and Associates, the parent company of SharpEdge News Company, SharpEdgeNews.com in the US.
Mm-hmm.
It only took me $10 to enter into the US. I don't want to promote any bank,
Mm-hmm.
but that was the start. $10 securing a business name through a bank, getting my tax identification number, and then we went into business. So later, when something came to me from my late father's estate, say like $4,000, I was able to use that. I mean, to inject that into what I was doing. So
Yeah.
people should make the process less cumbersome. You want to register businesses in Nigeria, and they're asking you for a whole head.
In this
So
digital age, things should be moving a lot more smoother than
yes, you know, do you know
moving
the
back.
ridiculous things they even do in Nigeria when you want to register your business? For example, when I wanted to register Ruben
Like
and
I
Associates
said,
in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
when I
I'm
wanted to
listening.
register Ruben and can I continue?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yes.
When I wanted to register Ruben and Associates in Nigeria, they checked
Mm-hmm.
in their system. Another person was answering Rabboni and Associates. So, in which way is Rabboni, which translated would mean Rabboni would mean rabbi or teacher? In which way does it mean same thing with Reuben? CSC will not register Reuben and Associates because of Rabboni. But in America, does it matter if there's a Reuben and Associates in New Jersey? So long it's not in Kansas City,
Right. Right.
you can register it anywhere. If it's
Yep.
not in my county in Kansas City, it doesn't affect anything. So all these things that computers should harmonize for them, they make it so difficult for everyone in Nigeria. Yeah,
Right.
name reconciliation is too difficult for them to handle, and they waste too many. I mean, man hour chasing after nothing instead of what is productive and that can concretely impact um, human life.
Right. Okay. All right. We'll be back in to finish up the show in about 20 seconds. Do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live or we drop videos. All right. We'll be back in 20 seconds.